Trekcast.
The galaxy's most unpredictable Star Trek podcast.
Man, we cut it off. Here we are, ladies and gentlemen.
It always cuts off, man. I don't have a way to control that.
I know. We talk about this every week.
I think we need to unmute our mics and talk for a few seconds while it's still going. I think that will curb some of the awkwardness of the abrupt end.
Mm-hmm.
So
I like the hard start, but that's
It's a hard start. It's a slap in the face, kind of like daylight savings time is for us Americans here this morning with the bullshit.
Yeah.
Do we ever have to do this again though? Isn't this the last time?
No, every year it's the last time.
No. They passed a law last year.
No,
they wanted to pass a law. They didn't do it.
They didn't?
I got an email from my congressman about it, and it was like, I can't make a decision for myself, so I'm taking a survey. You know, what do you think? And all the choices, and the last one was other. So I clicked other, and I responded with, do away with clocks. Time is a construct.
Yes.
So,
I know there's like some like financial benefits to it and against it as well. Like there's factors as to why we still do it.
There's no right answer. I'll tell you right now, there's no right answer because, you know, we do daylight savings time. So businesses and organizations don't have to have seasonal hours. If we get rid of daylight savings time, some businesses and some organizations will have to have seasonal hours and some won't. So it's going to be just as confusing. We're just taking the confusion from over here and putting it over here. So we should move to star dates. That's it. From now on,
absolutely.
When people ask, hey, Dan, what time is it? I'm going to say start date 647-842.3.
Well, I've moved.
And if they don't know what that means, then what's that?
I've moved completely to UTC time. Like it's not 10 a.m., which it is central daylight time here right now in the U.S. in Missouri where I'm at. But I go off of the UTC time. It's 15:06.
Okay.
Because it's 15:06 everywhere. Going by UTC.
Okay. I guess.
No, that's what I mean. I kind of had to. I even have my phone, one of my two phones, set to UTC time because that's what the entire game runs off of is UTC time because it's a global game. Anyway, earlier this month, Senator Marco Rubio reintroduced legislation that would make daylight savings time permanent, proposing an end to the biannual clock change that disrupts the lives of millions of Americans. The Sunshine Protection Act passed unanimously in the Senate last year.
Protection Act.
That's what they called it.
Oh my God.
Yeah, they called it. It passed unanimously in the Senate last year, but the bill stalled in the House. Senator Marco Rubio reintroduced the bill in the Senate on March 2nd to try to call an end to this antiquated practice. So yeah, the Sunshine Protection Act. I mean,
you know what's the worst part?
Hey, chat room, do you guys want daylight savings to end or not?
I don't care.
Yeah.
But the worst part about this is we discussed all of this like 6 months ago. The last time we had to change the clock.
Because time is the construct.
It's like Groundhog Day.
Yes.
I love Groundhog Day.
I do love that movie.
Holiday.
Yeah.
No, the holiday. I love the holiday. It's ridiculous.
I love the movie with Bill Murray.
Yeah, it's a good movie.
It's a great movie.
All right.
That's my answer for everything.
Nope.
No.
Okay,
no.
Shaw.
I am Captain Shaw today.
Yes.
StreamYard was like, would you like to put a name in? No.
He was great. I'm sorry. That was hilarious.
Growing on me.
He really has.
Growing on me.
Dude,
it's just hilarious.
I watched the Will Wheaton interview with him. That dude is amazing. Yeah.
I just poked myself in the eye.
Don't do that. Chad, don't do that.
I was just trying to rub it because it's got some sleep in it still.
That's what coffee is for.
I'm trying coffee in the eye. Okay, here we go.
Yes, pour coffee in your eye.
Yes. Chad's gonna go for Academy performance today and fake tears and the whole thing.
Yeah, he's a professional soccer player.
There you go. Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
No
He's
kidding.
gonna flop on the floor next when he doesn't like the news stories. Yes, exactly.
Two sports that aren't real: WWE and soccer.
Oh wow!
Wow.
Whoa.
Wow.
Shots fired.
What do you
Shots
mean
fired.
WWE is not real?
I know that's the one that would annoy you the most.
It's real.
No, did you see that they're trying to go for to be able to do sports betting?
What do
No,
WWE? Yeah.
What do you mean?
no.
So apparently they've got to do like all these different things in order to make it viable as a thing you can bet money on.
Oh, on
No.
WWE?
Yes.
You can't. You can't.
Oh,
Yeah.
It's not.
it's not real. It's scripted.
It's not. Yeah.
It's rehearsed.
Well,
That's
some of
like-
the stuff they have to do is they have to plot out their storylines well in advance, and then like secure the scripts and then like not
Yeah.
deviate from that, which is
Yeah.
something they don't do. So,
Okay, so this would be like Las Vegas allowing you to bet on the season finale of Picard.
yeah,
There'd be absolutely no difference.
Yeah.
Which is why it's ridiculous.
yes.
Yeah.
But they're working on it. They're working on it with gaming commissions from different states to make it happen right
I
now.
think it's a terrible idea.
Oh yeah, it'll be bad.
It's pretty
It's
bad.
terrible.
All
idea.
it takes is one guy to get injured during a storyline, because that happens. And now he ruined it.
Speaking of somebody getting injured, T-Bear in the chat says Chad needs mittens. Yeah, apparently I need something for safety.
Kitten mittens. All right.
Betting on a rigged game. That's silly.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Some people
Exactly.
say the NFL is rigged. They're so wrong, but
Well, because
whatever.
the script came out last time. for the
Yeah.
Super Bowl.
The script did not. My God. The people, I don't know. It's like there's too much dumb to go around. Everybody
right.
has.
Yeah. Well,
an
I have
ex-
said
an
this
extra
before.
helping.
I've actually said this my entire life, and I think I've even said this at least once on the show before. So if you've heard this before, just roll your eyes and move on with your day.
Mm.
But I honestly believe that the United States of America started down its path of decline when natural selection went out the window, i.e., we
Yeah.
stopped being able to legally shoot each other in a duel in the street at high
Good
noon.
Lord. Chad just wants free murder. Chad wants the purge.
The Purge.
Oh my God. All right, let's get to the news.
Please.
Yeah.
Star Trek news.
So, yes, our first news story comes to us from trekmovie.com. And let me pull this up real quick. It's kind of interesting. We are getting an exclusive from them, learning more about the behind the scenes of Picard. And we are learning that Robert Beltran had turned down a role in Picard, picking up on the Seven and Chakotay romance. So this was originally revealed on Twitter when Robert Beltran responded to some tweets asking, if he was going, why wasn't he in Picard?
You're cutting out a little bit, Daniel.
Oh,
Yeah, I was gonna. Yeah, whenever you go to pull up the stuff, sometimes
it's
your
that
audio-
one. It's that specific website.
Yeah, it wants to kill your mic. Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
it's by playing stuff.
Yeah.
Even though it might be muted, it's by trying to play stuff.
That's probably what it is.
Yeah.
Anyways, so Robert Beltran said that he did turn down a role in Picard, and so when they asked him what role was it, it ends up that
Read
people
the-
want to challenge Chad to
Read
duel.
the next one though from Alejandro. That's great.
There you go.
That's
there
what
you
Tide
go.
Pods are for.
Yes. Yes.
That's a great point.
Oh,
Sorry, get back to the
God.
news.
So yeah. So the role that he turned down, people were thinking, oh, it was for this season, season 3, was not. That was not the case. And Chakotay is back in Prodigy, but what the role that he did turn down was actually for season 2. Remember in season 2 we met 7 of 9's husband in the alternate universe.
Ah, okay.
They wanted that to be Chakotay.
Huh.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, see, that would have been cool. Well, I don't know. For a minute there, I was like, no, I don't want Chakotay back. I don't want Robert Beltran back. But but I don't want him back as Seven's lover. But in an alternate universe where he's an evil guy, that
Yeah.
would have been cool. I would have dug that. That would have been cool.
Well, he said that he did not like the way the role was written, and he's having more fun on Prodigy, so he's just gonna
Yeah.
stick with that.
Yeah, I mean, sure.
Honestly, Chakotay is one of the biggest missed opportunities in Star Trek.
Yeah.
I mean, there was so much they could have done with that character, and after a while, he was just, part of the set. Things
Yeah.
just happened around him. And then they're like, yeah, you know what? You also box with Boothby. So here.
That's right.
Have a Boothby boxing episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he got a couple of. There was the one where he was fighting in someone else's war, and he was trained to. He was like brainwashed to hate this one race of people, and when he came out of it, turns out they were the good guys, but he couldn't give up his hate right away. I mean, that was a good episode. That was a meaty.
They had weird phrasing
part.
too, right? Like the way they would phrase things.
I don't remember this one at all.
I don't remember.
I must have blanked it from my mind.
I don't remember. But I mean, it was a good, it was a good episode, a meaty episode about, giving up hate. And, here this guy who we know is a good guy, who we know doesn't have evil in his heart. And by the end of the episode, he's full of hate.
Akuchimoya.
It was good. Akuchimoya. But, those were few and far between. Mm-hmm. Instead, he was just, the guy. The other guy on the bridge.
And he wasn't even a Maquis for very long, right? That's the thing that I think was the biggest miss with him, is there should have been more of that fight and more of that dynamic between him and Janeway early on than there was. They let it go too fast.
Mm-hmm. I liked when they got together on that planet, just him and Janeway. They were playing house.
Yep.
They fell into that. He did, really. He fell into that hard.
Yeah.
Which was interesting, but I don't know.
Yeah. All right. Next news story comes to us from Yahoo News, and William Shatner, Grandpa, says he does not have long to live. Well, he's being dramatic. He is working on a documentary. Yes, he's working on a documentary. He's 91 years old. The documentary is called "You Can Call Me Bill." So very much a take on "You Can Call Me Spock," or my name is Spock. Oh my
gosh.
Yeah. And basically this is the first documentary he says that is about his life. He's done a lot of documentaries about Star Trek and all that, but this is all specifically him. And he is doing this to leave something behind for his grandchildren and great-grandchildren. And with that, he says, look, I'm 91. I don't have much left, There's less years forward than behind. So
I think that's a obvious statement. I don't think that's being overdramatic when you word it like that. Yeah. I mean,
that's just saying. It's just clickbaity headline.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's just somebody acknowledging the reality and the fact that they're 91. And I mean, that's a scary thing, honestly. I think about that every once in a while. Like, I'm 45 right now, so I've probably got another 40 years, right? If I'm good, if I get.
I mean, lucky, unless you get dueling and legal like you want.
There you go.
But I mean, like, so you're still at that point where you have as many years in front of you roughly as you've already put behind you. That seems like a long ass time. But when you get to that point where you're thinking about it, like, the opportunities for me to be around for another 10 years, that seems unlikely. Like, that's got to be a wet noodle to the face. I don't know. I'm going to have a hard time with that as time goes on. I will have a hard time with that.
Do a documentary. That should help.
Yeah. Wait. Hey, chat room. What would Chad's documentary be?
Oh, we already know what my documentary would be called. Wow. You already know. Where's Waldo?
Chat about you.
It's just Where's Waldo. That's it.
Chat about you. Chat about town.
Oh Lord, nobody would read that. Nobody would. Actually, you know what? I should do that, and I should do that now, and have every page blank.
I feel like you should get that as your Twitter account. Chat about you.
Making it right now.
Yeah, there you go. All right. And our last news story comes to us from also Yahoo. And we are getting a response to. So remember a while ago, Nicolas Cage said that he likes Star Trek over Star Wars and did not want any part of Star Wars. Well, Pedro Pascal is now responding to that. So it was brought up in an interview. Instead of reading all this, let me just play the clip. So this is Pedro responding to Nicolas Cage saying he does not want to be part of Star Wars.
Nick is one of the smartest people I've ever met. And I think that makes sense in terms of how cerebral and puzzle making. A lot of the Star Trek is, I will admit that it was a little over my head as a child. It lands on me so much more as an adult.
So there you go.
Yeah. So what were they? They were in something together recently.
The Unbelievable Weight of Talent.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about that movie other than Way of the Wrong. That's your autobiography.
My Two Dans.
There you go.
Yeah.
So those two were in a movie together. You just said it, and I forgot already.
The Unbelievable Weight of Talent. I saw the movie.
Okay. There's a scene where the two of them are in a car together, and he looks over at Pedro, and Pedro has this like look on his face.
Unbelievable bliss.
Yeah, I don't know if he's high or what, but it's become a meme.
Oh, absolutely.
People are, editing that into all kinds of things, but I didn't know what it was from.
Yeah,
but
it is a hilarious movie.
Okay.
Like, it is definitely worth a rental or watching it on streaming or something.
Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. So
okay,
all right,
cool.
And that's all the news.
I tried to make a Twitter account. I need a new Gmail account in order to do that with. Everything else is used up. So
you need another burner.
Yeah.
You could, here's just an idea. You could do it later when we're not making a podcast.
Yeah. We are trying to do something here.
It'd be funny though to like give the link to it live on the show.
Just start live tweeting.
Yes.
The show while you're in the show.
Yes. All right, let's get. Right. Shall we get to the main topic?
Sure.
Fun will now commence.
T-Bear, Way of the Wrong, Novel, Chad Waldo, I Am Always Wrong. Those are both great titles.
You're cutting out, Chad.
Why? Why am I cutting out?
I don't know.
But
you are. I don't know. Anyways.
Now I just hear nothing.
Yes, exactly. Well, he stopped talking.
That's fine too.
This was Picard, episode 4, no win scenario. The log line from Paramount is: with time running out, Picard, Riker, and crew must confront the sins of their past and heal fresh wounds, while the Titan, dead in the water, drifts helplessly towards certain destruction within a mysterious space anomaly. Directed by Jonathan Frakes and written by Terry Matalas and Sean Tretta.
That's a new director.
Jonathan Frakes?
Jonathan Frakes, yeah.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
No, he's not new. He says that half the time.
I know.
Yeah. Yes.
I know.
And every time we have to get an image that I can put up. Because every time you say that, in my mind there's Riker eating a hot dog.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or hot dog Riker.
Yeah, we are just having all kinds of fun this morning, aren't we?
Indeed.
I need it, man.
Yeah.
I tell you, my wife had some surgery on Wednesday. Man. Yeah, she had some abdominal surgery. So, and I mean, it was scheduled. We knew it was coming.
Yeah.
So I took the second half of last week off, and this coming week, I'm taking off. So I've been doing mom stuff.
Yeah.
For several days, and I'm exhausted, man.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, she went in for surgery on National Women's Day, and
oh wow,
or that week or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah. So that being said, I watched this episode 2.5 times.
Nice.
I need to watch it again because I was interrupted like every 5 minutes, and so I know there's stuff that I missed. I thoroughly enjoyed this episode. I thought it was great, but I missed half of it because of that.
Right.
It's my brother Dan and my other brother Dan. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, that sounds accurate.
No.
I'm gonna have to do a graphic with the title of that book now.
Well, hot dogs are delicious.
Hot dogs are a sandwich as well.
Yeah.
That's right, they are.
I like that we commented these, and then for like the audio listeners, they don't know.
They have no idea. Yeah.
Yeah. So somebody mentioned that they want a hot dog. That's what it is. Anyway, I really like this episode. They did say that
Yeah.
this is the end of their first arc.
Yep. First act.
So, first act. This is the end of
Yeah.
it. Definitely felt like putting it together. It does feel like a movie.
Yep.
I think if you watched all four of them back to back to back, you'd have a pretty decent sized TNG movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
would. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
I thought it was really well done. Should we? Okay. There is a great theory going around online that I want to share with you guys.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So this is coming to us from Pendragon Designs on Instagram. They're a knitting account that also loves Star Trek. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
These two things go hand in hand. Yeah.
Indeed. Indeed.
Yeah.
So it says, my theory is that this is all about Laas. He was in only one episode of DS9, but apparently the writers wanted to do so much more with him and didn't get the chance. It would just be like the Picard team to pull an obscure thread and run with it. Laas was the changeling sent away like
Yep.
Odo, who wanted to form a new Great Link in the Alpha Quadrant, and he hated humanoids. Odo linked with them while unknowingly carrying the morphogenic virus and intended to be for the founders. So that would explain the grossness of that. What probably is a changeling. Also, Laas did not have access to the Great Link, which would have cured him. So there we go.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't know if you remember who played Laas, but it was
Wasn't it Martok?
Yeah, it was J.G. Hertzler. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I thought about that character the other day.
Yeah.
And I was wondering if they were going to somehow address this. Yeah, I don't know. They keep pulling obscure references.
That's for sure.
And I'm starting to wonder, are some of them red herrings?
Oh yeah, most definitely.
For instance,
like we thought the bugs.
Yeah. Which you know what? I'm not totally out.
The Earth is flat until you prove it wrong.
Well,
that's right.
Here's the thing. Okay, Vadic.
Mm-hmm.
Is she changeling?
No, she's not.
She's not.
Mm-hmm.
She's not. So she still could be a bug. This could be the Bug Changeling Alliance or something. We don't know.
Right.
We don't know. They're pulling so many obscure things. But something else that I noticed when she, I don't know, was that was her hand a changeling, or was her glove a changeling, or is it a device, like a electrical device that resembles a changeling? What was that on her hand?
So I can't remember where I saw it, but somebody was pointing out online that she acted much differently once that thing was talking to her, as if it was controlling her. Because the minute it went back into her body, she was just all boisterous and kind of crazy like she has been. But when it was talking to her, she was very fearful.
So here's the thing. Here's the item that I'm wondering if it's a red herring or if it's going to go somewhere. Did you notice the knife that she used? Thank you. Daryl just brought it up.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
She used Shinzon's knife. Now, here's the thing. That's an actual knife that was made by a knife company around the time that movie came out. And they just selected that knife to use. It wasn't designed for the movie. Okay. But 20 years later, they chose that knife to have her do this scene with. So I'm asking myself, what's the connection? Why does she have Shinzon's knife, or a knife just like Shinzon's? And then I'm wondering to myself, we still don't know why I'm about to go into one of my crazy Dan theories. So just buckle up, put on your helmet.
I'm listening.
Okay. We still don't know why she wants Jack Crusher.
Right.
We still don't know why she hates Jean-Luc Picard so much. Okay. Now, is she another Romulan clone cloning project that was made using Picard's DNA? And if so, she's suffering from the same ailment that Shinzon had. And what did Shinzon need to survive? He needed Picard's DNA for an infusion of something. Okay, Picard doesn't have DNA anymore because he's a robot.
Right.
He's all synthetic. So what's the only place to get Picard's DNA right now? From Jack Crusher.
Right. It was the Packlids.
It was the Packlids.
Yes.
It was.
I mean, that's a good theory. It fits.
I don't know if it's a good theory. It's a theory.
It fits.
It's a Beverly clone.
Yeah.
She's a Beverly clone.
There you go. I don't know. Chad, what do you think? I can see the wheels turning.
Can you see the smoke coming out of my ears?
Yes.
No, I don't think. I mean, it's a good theory, but I don't. That's not where I put my money. So first off, let's back up. She's got a Shinzon knife. I call that a red herring. Yeah. Right? That means the Romulans would be involved somehow, some way, which they probably are because the Changelings have infiltrated them.
The ship looks Romulan.
It does look Romulan, right? So, I mean, the Romulans are involved in some way, shape, or form because the Changelings have gotten into everything, right? And so she's got the Shinzon knife specifically so that we talk about it. That's it, right? And it's a good it's a good little drop, right? It's a nice little prop to use to get people thinking, right? So that's all I think it's there for. Now, with that said, I don't think that the Changeling is controlling her. I think she's just scared shitless of it. And that's the only thing in the world that because she's crazy, but that's the only thing that she can be scared of because literally she has to cut herself open to let it out. And when it does, it floats in the freaking air and talks to her. Like, no wonder she's nuts. It's the weirdest Changeling ever, but that's some sort of weird Changeling communication device. I don't know why she can't talk to it without cutting herself open, but dramatic effect, I suppose. But, But yeah, the ship does have as Bird of Prey kind of look to it as well, almost kind of like to
because the Shrike is terrible looking. Like it's an
cool looking.
Bird.
It's a cool looking ship. Anyway, and it also kind of looks like the small, more menacing version of the ship that what's his name had in the JJ Trek movie.
Oh, Nero's ship,
right? It's a smaller version. It's got that same look to it. A board.
Well, it's definitely the same school of design.
Exactly.
Just make it pointy.
Exactly. Make it pointy. So I don't know. I think it's just. I think it's a part of a Changeling that's able to communicate with itself, automatically, right? So it's used as a communication device. I think it's in her arm, so it can't be detected in some way, shape, or form. They can use her without having to have a full Changeling there to do what they need to do. I don't see it as being connected to. Now, why do they want Jack? Yeah, that's a great question. I don't have an answer for yet. I mean, your theory is as good as any other, so I really can't say. But I mean, what is so special about him? I mean, it'd be crazy. It'd be crazy, but maybe the Vorta are involved with that in some way, shape, or form with what they need in terms of genetics somehow with Beverly. And Beverly knows something, and then she had to use that to save. I don't something like that. I don't know. But, I mean, it could be that simple. It could be that simple. They're just after Picard's DNA again, which would be kind of weak sauce, honestly. But
yeah,
maybe that's all it is.
I think Vadic is the new Vorta. I don't think they're Vortas, but I think they fill that role for the new Changelings.
Yeah, in terms of they're just there and inhabiting and doing their whoever.
They do their bidding.
They do their bidding, right? So,
I do also think though that for sure the device that the bad guys are after at the Daystrom Institute is lore.
I think they're after something else, but I think lore comes into play somehow. But I think they're after something else, something more menacing than just lore, than just an android. I know he's more than just an android, but I think they're after something more than that. And with Jack, I think the reason they're after Jack is because he knows. I guess my number one theory would be the simple one: he knows something he's not telling everybody else, and so does Beverly. They both know something, but they're after Jack. Because either A, he is able to do whatever it is that they know, or they know if they get Jack, they've got Beverly as well, right? And then they want both of them, so they just concentrate on the one because they know that gives them both.
So T-Bear's got a question. Who are the Vadic minions that have the clicking sounds?
So I'm gonna go for a deep cut. Right.
Okay.
Do you remember the episode of TNG when everyone was getting abducted by aliens in their sleep?
Oh, those clicking? Yeah.
Yeah. Could it be those guys?
They're back for more. They want to abduct him again. I mean,
I don't know.
It fits as far as the clickings, but that's about it.
It all fits. That's the thing. It all fits. There's so many loose ends, so many unexplored storylines.
Right.
From Berman era Star Trek that you know, they could literally do anything. What are we beating on Odo's bucket? What is that I hear?
I hit my mic stand by accident.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. And you know what?
Kind of like when I do it.
About Odo's bucket.
Yep.
There you go.
Yeah.
While we're talking about Odo's bucket, they kind of messed up there.
Yeah, they did.
That's not that's an Odo thing. That's not a Changeling thing. The founders didn't do that.
Nope.
That was Odo's not he's not a good enough Changeling to, you know, just turn into goo on the floor and just be a puddle for an hour. He's got to go in the bucket. So
right.
I could see that being a thing with the. I could see that being with the Changelings in the area who can't get to the link, right? And maybe that's what they do.
Or they're in hiding, so they don't want to be spotted while they're in goo form.
Yeah.
So be self-contained in a small area.
But he made it sound like, you know, hey, this is something that all Changelings do. So if you're looking for a Changeling, you got to.
He made it sound like a Dracula with a coffin.
Yeah.
They have to go back to their coffin. Like,
yeah,
pretty much.
Yeah, I think it would have made more sense if he had said, you know, they have to revert to their gelatinous form once every 16 hours. So if the Changeling impersonated this ensign, you got to search his quarters for some residue. And then she finds the residue on the floor or in the sink or something like that. But to say, you know, there's a specific item that he's going to use to do this, it didn't fit with what was established.
Yeah. Could be a young.
You know, that's a good. Well, that could be a point because that's a good point because they did say that. What did they sent out 100 Changelings just like Odo?
Yeah.
Okay, and you know, so I'm sure many of them didn't survive, but you know, Laas was out there looking for others of his kind.
Right.
You know, who knows who else he found.
Yeah,
but then the question is, see, here's the thing. I'm wondering if we're going to see Odo. If they're going to, like, digitally recreate him or something. Because here's the thing. Even if Laas did go and create a new link of pissed off Changelings, at some point, the regular Changelings became aware of this other link. Because Odo contacted Worf about it.
Right.
So I'm wondering if this other link, I'm wondering if these other Changelings went home to the Great Link and decided we don't, you know, this is not for us. We don't want to do this. We want to do our own thing. And brought some other Changelings with them as they left. And now it's fractured the Great Link.
The Great Link.
Because Odo would have to find out somehow in order to tell Worf.
Yeah.
I don't think we'll see Odo. I don't see them doing that. Yeah, I don't think so.
They have to bring it up. They have to bring it up again, though. There has to be more to this story. About
I don't know. I could see them just...
Odo sent me an email, and
I could definitely see them doing that, and that's it. You know, I could see them
did in this
up...
episode. Yeah. Kind of. They pulled up a screenshot of him on the pad.
Yeah, I mean that was an old publicity photo from Deep Space Nine. I mean, and that wasn't the only one. I don't know if you noticed in 10 Forward, there was a picture of Picard and Guinan from Generations.
Yeah,
it was an old, you know, stock photo from the movie. The problem is that scene took place in the Nexus, So who
Right.
took that photo?
Yes. Yes. I saw
Which-
other people bring that up. Yeah.
Which got me thinking. Okay, so people obviously still hang pictures on the wall in the 21st century. We've seen that. Now, we walk around our daily lives here in the 21st century and we say, oh man, this thing that just happened, I wish I had my camera. I would love to have a picture of that. Okay. In the 25th century, you could literally, that could happen to you. And then you could walk to the holodeck, recreate what just happened, and then have the computer replicate a photograph as if someone took a picture of it. You know what I mean? You're in the holodeck, you recreate the situation. You tell
Make
the
a hollow
computer,
image.
add a photographer right there, have him take a picture. Now transfer that picture to the replicator and print me a 8x10.
Well, T-Bear says the Nexus is like an amusement park ride, and Picard bought a photo on the way out.
Yeah, but his arms aren't up in the air like.
That's right.
Somehow the Nexus has automated drones taking pictures of you everywhere, so you can have it
Perhaps
as a memento.
birds.
Yeah.
Perhaps birds. Correct. Birds aren't real.
Yeah, they're not.
I don't know. There's a lot of, for it to be the first arc, or to be the first part of the story, there's a lot of things still left up in the air that need to be tied up.
Well,
Obviously, we've
speaking
got
of
plenty
left up in
time
the
to do it,
air,
but still.
What do you think was going on with Jack at the end? When like Venom or Carnage was behind him,
Yeah, I don't know. I tell you what, they did a.
What am I? Explain that scene to me. I'm missing. I'm not.
When
I need
Jack
to watch
is-
this episode again because I watched it once
Jack
on
is-
Thursday. I got to watch it again.
Jack at the end is looking in the mirror in the bathroom. He's watching.
Oh,
his face,
yeah.
And behind
he's
him
having
on
a
the
hard
wall,
time.
Yeah, behind him on the wall is something.
Well, and see, that's right. And see, he does say, or there's someone whispering, say, you need to tell them.
Yeah.
See a changeling.
So maybe.
Yeah, he can't be.
No, but maybe he has a changeling inside him, the way that Vadic does.
Like a good changeling.
And then no, maybe it's a bad changeling, but he's keeping him at bay or something.
Yeah.
And the new link, we'll call them the new link. The new link wants their guy back.
Yeah. And again, that's something he knows. That, I mean, clearly he knows. He's done this before. That's why he's hitting his head and trying to knock it off and get it to shut up and whatever. So
what did you guys think of the B story? Picard having lunch in the bar and all the cadets and well, I don't think they were cadets. I think they were just young officers.
yeah. I think it's very telling. I think it was a very honest scene. I mean, that's just the way. Picard was just being honest and talking and being himself, and he didn't say anything that was outside of what his character has always been.
Yeah.
It's just a shame that he said it to Jack and didn't know.
I didn't see that coming.
I didn't see that coming. But when
Yeah.
Beverly said, I mean, that makes sense as to why Beverly said, I told him all about you, and I told him he should go and see you, and he said he didn't want to, and that's because he went and scoped him out.
Yeah,
got
he had
that
his hood
answer.
up. I mean, he was definitely slinking around. He had his hood up, and I was thinking, and in the end of the episode, I think Picard realized, I've seen this kid before. This was the kid in the bar.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting there wondering to myself, how does he talk his way out of this? Because he was lying to those officers. He was absolutely 100% lying when he said Starfleet's the only family I ever needed. Because we know that he desperately wanted a family.
Yeah.
We know from generations that he wanted a family.
Because the Nexus revealed that.
Yeah. Yep. But
well,
also,
not only all
we
that,
know that
but
in his mind, in his memories, he had a family from the inner light, and he still carries the pain of losing them.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if he's going to share that with Jack, and that's his out to explain, this is what I said to them because I had this deeply personal experience 20 years ago that I wasn't about to share in a bar with a bunch of ensigns, but this is what happened to me. And I had a son. He didn't exist, but he exists in my mind. He exists in my heart. And, you are the
It's an easy enough thing to explain too, to say, Jack, I didn't know you existed, period. And I said what I said as an admiral in Starfleet.
yeah.
What other response do you think an admiral in Starfleet would have to young officers?
Yeah, I think that's a textbook answer. I think if he's
It
looking
is.
to connect with his son, I think he would have to give a little more than that.
Of course you would, but I mean that's a pretty obvious
Yeah.
They just need to go.
But Jack also heard him say that when he was 17 years old.
Oh
Yeah.
God!
So he experienced that. He experienced his dad telling a room full of people, "I don't need a kid," when he was 17 years old.
Exactly.
I just realized what's going to happen.
Oh boy.
Because they're on their way to go see everyone else, right?
Yeah.
And who else is in that group that we haven't really seen a lot of?
Geordi.
Counselor Troy, a psychologist who's going to help Jack and Picard mend fences.
Yeah.
Oh well, sure, yeah. And she can probably feel and hear and sense the changeling in him, yeah.
Right.
Or something that's not right.
Yeah.
So one thing that bothered me at the beginning of this season was Riker. I thought it was out of character, and for a little while we thought maybe he was a changeling, but it was out of character.
I still think it.
No, I don't.
I know. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
Yeah. I don't think so. So he, he basically left his wife and his daughter, which we all thought was incredibly out of character. And then come to find out it's because of the pain from losing his son and yada, yada, yada. But initially I looked at that and I was like, yeah, but we saw you in season 1 and you were fine. And now suddenly 2 years later, they need you to be on a starship for the way that story's going. The writers need you on a starship. So they concoct this thing about you still dealing with the pain. And it occurred to me that his son died because the means to cure him were not available because of this ban on synthetics. And that ban has been lifted.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that has got to reopen those wounds. To know that if my son was sick today, we would just take him to sickbay and they would fix him. But
that's got to change your mind on Starfleet regulations and protocol and why are you here in my existence and everything else. And there's just at the end there's just nothing, right? That statement that he made at the end there's just nothing.
Yeah. I mean, we kind of have to connect the dots a little bit, but that's fine. It explains a lot of the changes for sure.
Yeah.
So kind of shifting gears here a little bit on the Will Wheaton show when they were interviewing the actor that plays Shaw. One of the things they brought up, and I kind of wanted to share this because I've seen this brought up. Okay, thanks.
I'm just gonna keep saying it.
I know. One of the things that has been brought up quite a bit is if Shaw really hated Borg that much, why have 7 of 9 be there, right?
Oh, I got an answer for that.
Okay, well,
we don't know that it's a choice.
Exactly. Someone put her there to make him deal with his shit.
Okay, or we can hear what the actor says.
Okay, go ahead.
But you hold on to that theory.
What does he know?
Yes. Hold on to that theory there, Chad.
Stupid Star Wars tattoo.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
He's not wrong.
Yeah.
He's not wrong.
Right.
And he chooses his first officer. Yeah. So I think he has to compartmentalize. Yeah. He recognizes her skill. I think when he was younger, prior to the events, he was probably much more like her, roguish and risky and whatnot. And so she gets to be the things on the bridge that he won't let himself be, and needs that other voice of a much more impulsive, brash risk taker, which is why I think he chose her as his first officer. But he won't call her Shatner.
Yeah.
So that's how he compartmentalizes. Like,
He won't call it what?
But he won't call her 7.
Yeah.
So
That's good. I like that.
yeah, I thought
So
it
that's
tracks.
one. So that's one theory.
Or he was forced. Whatever.
No, I mean, like I said at the beginning of this the show, I really Shaw's really grown on me pretty fast. The guy is hilarious. He's just, his story of Wolf 359 and telling everybody what he told them. I mean, that was painful and hard, and I can understand some of that. At the same time, he's being a little petty to Picard. It wasn't like he was Borg by choice. And had control, but I understand where he's coming from. And then, at the end of it, he's like, "Sorry, everybody. At some point, I replaced charisma with asshole." I love it. I love it. And the grease monkey thing and all of that. I think Picard throwing it back into his face. We need an asshole from Chicago. I thought that was great.
Oh, you know what's funny about that is that actor is from Chicago.
That's good. Now, with that said, do we like the cussing?
No.
Yeah, I don't either. I could do without the cussing.
I don't either.
Yeah. I can take it or leave it.
I don't want to rehash it, but it's not. It's not.
Dipshit from Chicago. That's right.
Yeah,
that's what Picard says. Yeah, which it was funny, but I just I could do without the cussing.
So, an interesting thing about Shaw and his tirade against Picard, calling him Locutus and calling him a murderer, and we've met before. We've seen this conversation before.
Mm-hmm.
It was Ben Sisko.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Except at the time, it was Ben Sisko was receiving his orders from Jean-Luc Picard. It wasn't. It was a different dynamic. Picard's retired.
Mm-hmm.
He could probably get away with saying a little bit more to him. But it was good to see. It was nice to. I don't want to say it was nice to see, but it's interesting to see how in this universe they talk about Wolf 359 like it's like 9/11.
Yeah, it was a traumatic experience for everyone.
Yeah.
Whether you were there or not, it was just.
So I don't know. It's good that it's still remembered. It's good that it still affects the characters, and they don't just it was a thing that happened 20 years ago.
Right.
If you're a captain now, you were an ensign then, and there's a good chance that you were there, someone that was there, or you lost someone that was there.
Right.
So I like how they tied that in.
I keep thinking about that that crew member in Lower Decks who was like, the changelings are a myth.
Yeah.
Well, 359 was an inside job. Yeah.
So the aliens at the end, the ones that give birth,
mm-hmm.
Are those the same? Yeah, Pearl Harbor, exactly, Chaz.
Yeah.
It's Pearl Harbor. Are those the same aliens from Farpoint Station? They look very similar.
It was pointed out on the Will Wheaton show that they were similar, but they did not directly say that it is them.
All right, so it's like an Asian elephant versus an African elephant.
Probably something like that.
Yeah, I mean, Picard even mentions Farpoint in the last episode, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, light swearing is fine. F-bombs not needed. Yeah, from Picard specifically, sure.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, we did have James T. Kirk double dumbass on you way back in the day, right? So, I mean, it is what it is.
It's fine.
So I feel like
they
there's
are
something
space jellyfish. Yeah.
I feel like there's something I need. I desperately need, and all of you need it too. You may not know it yet.
To purify yourself in the waters of Lake Minnetonka?
No, I was going to say the mines below Mandalore, but that's okay too.
Well, okay,
No,
so you went with Mandalore. I went with Purple Rain.
Yeah.
I desperately want a flashback scene of Picard and Worf versus the Hirogen. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on. Who doesn't want to see that?
Yeah.
Yes. I had so many questions about how did the Hirogen get over here?
Yeah. Just Worf, I want to hear Worf just say, I am a hunter. I'm not the hunted. I'm not the prey. Something. Yeah.
What was that hunter species that was in Lower Decks that was going after Boimler?
Oh yeah. Well, what was funny is they said that Worf set up a dead drop. Isn't that what they do in the first Predator movie? Doesn't Arnold set up a dead drop?
Yeah.
Come on!
Yeah.
Come on. I'm here. I'm here.
Come get me! I'm here! Come on!
Oh my God! I need an episode where Chad just talks like Arnold the whole episode.
Get out of here!
Get to the Picard.
Come on! Don't bullshit me.
Dan does it so well.
I know,
We
but
just
yours
did
is
that.
like because it's bad. Great.
It's bad. Yeah, it's horrible. Yeah.
Oh, Pavel, how
Tosk.
about Tosk? Yeah,
Tosk. Yep.
I am
Yeah.
Tosk.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I want to see them again.
yeah.
Yeah. It's transwarp. You're right.
Mm-hmm.
So I just want to point out that I love the new Starfleet uniforms.
Yeah.
They're new and old all at the same time. It just goes, who is your daddy and what does he do? I'm sorry. I'm reading T-Bear in the chat. For the people not watching the audio show, they're like, he's talking about something, and all of a sudden he's Arnold Schwarzenegger.
If the chat keeps putting up lines, I will put them on, and I'm sure someone will read them.
Oh boy.
Go up your best Schwarzenegger.
Get to the chopper. All right, so the Starfleet uniforms, they're new, but they're also old.
Yeah, they
I
fit.
mean, they look very Voyager-esque, and I think they did that on purpose. This season of Picard is a love letter to Berman era Star Trek, and right in the middle of the Berman era, that's what everybody was wearing. They were wearing that Deep Space Nine Voyager uniform, and there's that, and there's a couple of variations. Riker is wearing, he's got the TNG style collar on his. And there's some crew members that are walking around that also have the TNG style collar. And I'm wondering if those are cadets. I'm wondering if they have cadets on the ship for whatever reason. It's not a tumor.
Oh Lord.
Oh, I gotta stop.
Yeah. I do like the new uniforms. I imagine we will see a lot of them in Vegas.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're great.
Yep.
I did wonder, Dan, if you're going to get one before Vegas.
I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll see.
I gotta lose some weight before I try to finish.
Yeah,
the
I didn't
uniform.
want to
That's
say
my,
it on the air, but
that's what I'm gonna say right now.
Either
Fair
that or
enough.
I gotta call William Shatner and find out where he buys his Star Trek girdles.
Got to get in con shape.
Yep, gotta get the space girdle.
Yeah.
There you go.
So, who saw the preview for next week? Did you guys see the preview for next week?
I did not.
Okay, so I'm just going to tell you right now that I'll probably not be on the show next week because I'll be throwing up after watching the next episode. One specific scene.
What's that?
If these two next characters would fight, would you think that Raffi would win?
Hold on, I can show you the clip right now.
Yeah, play the clip.
Okay.
You're gonna you're gonna throw up. You're just gonna
let
throw
me
up.
get the clip.
Your enemy's aggression will always reveal their weakness. You could have sacrificed a move to reveal mine.
I already know yours.
Impulsiveness, stubbornness, short-sightedness is yours.
Oh, yeah. Do that meditation thing. You know I was going to win.
Priority communications alert. Incoming encrypted message from Starfleet intelligence.
Your handler?
Yes.
Finally. It's been almost 24 hours since you contacted me.
Patience, Raphaela.
Patience, my ass. If that attack on Starfleet recruiting was just a distraction, that means as we speak, there's a bunch of terrorist goo freaks out there planning their next attack.
There's precisely why I requested access to Daystrom Station. We need to find out what else the Changeling stole from that vault.
Denied.
What?
Thank you.
There we go.
No, thank you. In a fight scene between Raffi and Worf, do we honestly think they finally redeemed themselves in the last 30 seconds or 10 seconds of that fight, where Worf is basically bored now? He's only using one hand and he shoves her to the ground. Like, that's how the entire fight should have gone. At no time should she be able to even come close to kicking his butt. Like, that's
Well,
just.
it depends.
I understood that as something else. Yeah.
Are they sparring or is he training her?
Right.
Yeah, probably training.
If he's training her, repeatedly kicking the shit out of her, she doesn't learn anything. He has to let her. He has to let her do things. He has to let her throw punches, kicks, blocks, parry. You know, she's got to learn to do.
How to do it. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, that's the part that just makes me throw up. Raffi is somehow a fighting ninjutsu. I've got 2 sticks master. Just makes me want to just throw up.
I understood it as he is a better technical fighter than her. There's no doubt about that. Like he is a skilled fighter, but she is a dirty fighter. So whereas he's honorable and will fight, she'll do whatever it takes to win. She's
also nowhere near his strength.
Right. So she's going to use any trick she can to take an advantage.
I did like the Klingon music at the end. That's
who doesn't? That's great.
I love that part.
Yeah.
So, anyway, I'm not a Raffi fan.
Yes. So it's somewhat aware of this.
Somewhat.
Somewhat.
I have to reopen an old wound.
Okay.
So at the end of the episode, Riker uses a tractor beam to throw an asteroid.
Yes.
To throw an asteroid at the Shrike.
Yep.
And I have to say, yes.
I loved it. Yeah.
Yes. Okay, because the way that he did it makes sense.
Yep.
In physics and in how a tractor beam works.
Correct.
Okay, because I looked it up after our, no, I looked it up. I looked it up to confirm my thoughts, my ideas of how I thought that a tractor beam works. Okay,
Right.
And what it says is tractor beams are imagined to work by placing a target in the focus of a subspace graviton interference pattern created by 2 beams from an emitter. When the beams are manipulated correctly, the target is drawn along the interference pattern. Okay, which basically means with a tractor beam, you can pull towards the emitter or push away from the emitter. You can't shove something from left to right. That's not how it works. Okay, so what they did 3 weeks ago is wrong with how a tractor beam works. Now, what Riker did, the asteroid was behind him.
Mm-hmm.
He turned on the tractor beam. Okay, they were picking up speed. And at one point, he said, disengage the tractor beam, fire the keel thrusters. Now, on a naval ship, the keel is like the belly of the ship. Okay, it's a naval term. Actually, a fish, too. The keel is the belly of the fish.
Yeah.
So the keel thrusters would move the ship up. Okay, so they're towing this thing. They shut off the beam. They move the ship up. It continues to move forward, passes them, and continues on the same trajectory. It works exactly the way it was supposed to. Not, this bullshit that they did they did 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Daryl brought up a good point. Worf did spar with Jadzia, and Jadzia did say at any time he could take her out, but he would let her. So.
Yeah. That's true.
Somebody did just bring up a good alert.
Guys.
What Dan just said?
Warning, nerd alert.
Yeah.
Very.
Yeah.
Let's just compare us, okay? And who was it that said that? Daryl.
Yeah. Anytime I play a sound effect, Chad, for a minute, you sound weird, and then it comes back.
Okay, well, whatever. I guess
that's what it is. Yeah.
Daryl, Jadzia sparred with Worf. Yeah, I get that, but you know what?
Jasmine, I'd let her too.
Yeah. Raffi is no Jadzia.
Oh.
So. That's true. I agree.
Yeah.
Chad is not wrong.
For once in one episode. For once in one episode.
Just don't ruin it. All right.
I'm
Just
gonna be
enjoy
quiet
the
now.
moment.
All right, should we get to listener feedback?
Sure.
Yeah.
Open hailing frequencies.
Hey!
Frequencies open, sir.
All right, if you're in the chat room, X up if you want to join us. And there you go. I do have an email that I missed last week. Yeah.
How dare you?
So
How dare you?
I know. So this is from Scott. His email says, I swear to God, I will burn Paramount Studios to the ground, metaphorically speaking, if I don't see the first officer of the Titan knock out Shaw on his ass, look him down, and say, my name is 7 of 9. I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
Tell you what, when he started complimenting her, I was like, oh wow, this guy's coming around. Nope.
Nope.
His sarcastic way. You know, he can't just tell her this is how you find a changeling. I'm going to show you. I'm going to embarrass you. Yeah, that was good.
Yeah. In that interview, the Will Wheaton show, they did say that we will be seeing more of Shaw. This isn't the end of Shaw. And we're going to see, well, how did he put it? He put it as he will have more colors to paint with. So I guess that means we'll see more sides of Shaw.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm fine with that.
And also, fun fact, that's not the first time this guy has been in Star Trek. This is actually his second Star Trek character. He was in Enterprise. He played a Romulan that was pretending to be a Vulcan.
Huh.
Yeah.
Really?
Right.
Yes.
Huh. I almost have to go watch that. Find that episode and watch it.
Yeah. See, if you search his name on IMDb, you'll find the episodes, and
okay,
there you go.
Cool.
That'd be fun.
Chad, do you have any coffee accounts or anything?
I don't know about the coffee account. Let me go pull that up. I know I don't have any emails or voicemails. Let me go pull up the coffee. Track coffee. Well,
Scott Shaw's slowly becoming my favorite. Yeah, you're not the only one, man. He is very much becoming beloved very quickly. And he seems to love it, man. You know, maybe this is a good time to play this clip from the interview. Let me get it ready. He is definitely one of us. So let me bring this up.
This is so much fun. And
that was me every day for 5 years.
Right? And our nerd blood runs deep.
So deep.
The fact that we get the opportunity to make the things that we like to consume.
Yeah.
This is a show I watch anyway, of course, regardless of me being on it. And so it was never lost on me. The experience was never lost on me every time I walked onto my bridge, every time I sat in my chair, every time I said things like battle stations. Like, it was never lost on me, the custodian that I must be.
So there you go. He knows what he's part of, and he loves it.
Nice.
Yeah.
I was told to check my voicemail, so I'm doing
Yes.
that. Oh, look at that. We do have 2 voicemails. So I gotta get a cable.
All right, get the cable.
Notifications on the phone. I don't get them.
Killing me, Chad. It's okay.
Yeah.
I know.
Tell you what, let's get Chazbiz on first while you get that cable.
Okay.
So let me bring him in. Hey, Chazbiz, how are you doing?
Pretty good. How are you guys?
Good.
Good.
You're
You're
sounding a
subbing
little
in-
bit crinkly there, but that's okay. Let's
okay.
let's.
Hey,
push
what kind
forward.
of headset does Dan have?
I don't know. What kind do you have, Dan?
It is an Astro A10.
Astro A10. Okay, I'll try to change headsets next week. See if I can buy one and get it wired in, because you guys are what, on Apple? iPhone,
It's a web-based program, man. It doesn't matter.
Okay. Oh, this is a web-based program.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. Anyways, what'd you think of the episode?
It was awesome. It was a ship in a bottle episode.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they didn't have much money to spend, so they did it all in writing, and that's what made it so good. is great writing and just learning about the characters, and I don't know. I really like this captain.
What do you think is up with Jack?
I don't know. I mean, that's kind of weird because he's got this almost nightmare or alien in him.
Right.
Maybe he has a virus, and that's why he was on that ship with his mother, and Beverly was trying to cure him.
Oh, that's possible.
Because there's something up with Jack, and that's why she's so protective of him at the moment.
The Jack is not all right.
Yeah,
there is something about Jack for sure.
Yeah, and Beverly's not telling everybody because she's being kind of secretive.
Yeah. All right.
And then, what was it? I was listening to Terry Matalas, and he was saying that the bad guy ship, the Shrike, is a refit of the Laas Serena.
Like that style of ship?
No, the inside of the ship is the refit.
They redressed the set.
They just redressed the
that's
set.
why it looks like that in the
Yeah, if you look at where the captain's chair is, it's the middle section of the Laas Serena.
That makes sense. I can see it now.
Yeah. Okay.
Which is fine. I mean, that's smart, honestly. That's fine.
Yep.
Yeah, you spent the money, reuse it.
Exactly,
They didn't have the budget like they did last year, so they have to spend it in other places and be smart how they spend it.
I'm just now remembering when Shaw said something about whatever happened on the Stargazer and that weird shit with the Borg.
Yeah.
Even they knew that it was like, nah.
That's good though. That's good though, because he also said not the real Borg. They're still out there, which is important to know.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's important to know that the door is not closed on the Borg. The real thing is still out there, and we could see them again someday.
Mm-hmm.
So I was happy to hear that.
Okay.
And I would like to see Picard with the Hirogen and Worf.
I guarantee you that's going to be a comic book at least.
Tactical diplomacy,
or a book. Like it'll be something.
Yeah, it's like them mentioning it. I was like, Hirogen, dude. It's like, am I missing something? It's like I haven't heard about Hirogen since Voyager, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
and
you know what?
So many small moments in this episode. Where, just half a sentence, either a callback to something or just lets you know where a character is in his mind based on things we've seen in the past. When Jack says, wow, my mother must have hated you to name me after her first husband. And, Picard's response, even if I knew, I would have named you.
Yep.
I would have named you after him.
Yep.
It just shows the bond that those two guys had. That we never saw. It was all off screen. It was all season 1 TNG, but, which also kind of reinforces how tough it was for him having Beverly on the Enterprise all those years and having Wesley on the Enterprise all those years, knowing that this is my best friend's wife, B, he's dead, and I'm kind of responsible, and C, I love her and I could never tell him.
You know what? Saying all that kind of puts together the fact we've kind of said, Picard seems a little too chummy, too flowery with Will now because of how detached he was during those years on TNG. But it makes sense because he used to be very close to people. Then he got hurt. So then, his next command, he's going to be a little standoffish. But now in his old age, he's going back to his roots.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
It brings up another interesting thing, too, if you really think about it. So we've seen Picard now in 4 different stages of his life, and he's been different in each stage. His character is one that's not been static and the same exact person over time. We've seen him in his early days, in flashbacks and some scenes. We've seen him during his time on the Enterprise with everything that was happening at that point. We've now seen him. We've of course seen him in his old age and Inner Light and different variations of that as well. And now we've seen him here at Picard in both 2 forms, really. One as a real guy, and now as a synth who's trying to wind up his life essentially, and he was going to do it with Laris, and now he's here with Beverly and a kid. And then how does Jack and Will, like, are we going to get a scene with Jack and Will?
I don't know.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Will Wheaton has said he's not in this season.
They're brothers, though. How could they not? How could we not? He's the Traveler. How could we not?
I know.
Or not the Traveler, the Watchers, or whatever the hell they call themselves.
But think how protected Beverly is right now of Jack, because she already lost a husband. Will Wheaton's a space ghost or space god, whatever he is.
Yes.
and then you got Jack.
Space ghost, because there might be some.
That's a different connotation. Yeah,
some residue. So
she likes space ghosts.
She got slimed. So.
Indeed. All right. Hey, Chaz, your mic is getting a little bit worse, I think, or it's just dragging on. So let's cut him off from there, and we'll move on to.
See you, Chaz. Thanks, man.
Yeah, thank you.
Our producer said we're done.
Yeah, it's crinkling so much.
It is. It's kind of bad.
Hey, Hipster Spock, what's going on?
What's up?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
You sound great. Yep.
Okay, so I really like this week's episode too. I mean, everybody loved it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, it's like a classic episode of TNG.
Right. Hold on, I gotta ask Scott something real quick. Scott, what's Pornhub?
Yeah, I've never heard of such things.
Never heard of it. Don't know what it is.
You're a bad influence. All right, I'm sorry.
It's not a website.
No,
don't Google it. Don't Google it.
Yeah, don't do that.
Along with Star Trek, don't Google it.
No, don't.
Yeah, that's funny.
But you're right. It did feel like TNG, man. It was pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really good. So the statute of limitation on having relationships with your best friend's wife is 7 years now.
Is it? Okay. I was wondering.
Wait, what do you want?
Maybe over in Poland, but not in Arkansas. Clearly.
I mean, Picard had relations with Beverly, and I thought, okay, what is the statute of limitation on that anyway?
Maybe the chat room can tell us.
Yeah, we have lawyers and
get some
people and legal experts, scholars, or Officer Brunt, FAC. Is he in the chat today? Tell us.
I mean, that's something that you wonder, right?
Yeah.
Not really, Hipster Spock. I wasn't thinking it at all until you mentioned it. Not a second of it. No.
So anyway, I mentioned it a few times. Like, did you guys get like major Snoke vibes when the Vadic was talking to that guy?
Snoke, yeah, not Snake, but Snoke from exactly from Star Wars. Yeah, I did.
What is thy bidding, my emperor?
Yeah, for sure.
But the thing is, do you think we will actually see the guy? Because in Star Wars, he was just off, like after 5 minutes being on.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, is she really communicating? I think that goo of slime or whatever is more of a communication device and not an actual changeling, and the changeling's on the other end of it, connected to it somehow, as in it's a piece of him, like I'd said before. So will we actually see that changeling on the other end? We have no way of knowing. We could several times and actually not actually know it in terms of the look of who it is. So, and again, it could be any one of them if they're all in their own separate link, right? It's hard to say. They're all one, essentially.
It looks
drop becomes the ocean becomes the drop.
Yeah.
It looks, if you look at the face, it looks like Laas. It does look like him, because if you go back and you look at him, he didn't look like Odo, because Odo's face was modeled after the guy that found him. So Laas's face is modeled after, I don't know, whoever found him. But he has a very angular, like a pointy chin and a very angular face. And I kind of got that feeling looking at this projection, we'll call it.
Pictures.
I have to rewatch the episode of DS9. So another question, like, how did the Changeling decide to choose Sydney LaForge to go to the that place where they were disconnecting the nacelle covers?
I mean, it probably chose someone that it thought Seven would trust.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it made a mistake there because it didn't know any better for sure.
Yeah.
It definitely made a mistake there, and that just is telling that it doesn't. Maybe it hasn't been on that ship as long as what they think. But otherwise, they would have known that she's got nothing to do with engineering. That's her father. They just came up with that, and that was a mistake. Probably because just bad reading of the room. Changelings are bad about that sometimes. But it had to be somebody that was from the bridge, right? To be sent down there by Picard or Riker. But they didn't know about the order of, we're not sending anybody down there type of thing. Somehow they didn't quite pick that up, right? So, I can't find a picture of Laas anywhere. Trying to find one now to see what the comparison is.
It's 2 A's.
2
Oh,
A's?
well.
Yeah. Whatever.
Anyway.
Okay. So anyway, just always say Commander 7. That's the advice. And I said this to okay, that's cool. I said this to you guys earlier, but I know what's behind the door with the red light. It's a Kenny Rogers roasted chicken sign.
Actually, you know who's back there? Roxanne! You don't have to put on your red light.
That episode with Laas, by the way, is called Chimera.
Okay.
Deep Space Nine Chimera. If you want to go back.
Okay,
and watch that.
I gotta go watch it now.
Yep.
Anyway,
if I
with the
correctly, he didn't have a ship, right? He was just traveling through space as a changeling, right?
Yeah.
Just swinging through space?
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah.
As a blob.
Okay. Yeah, he was just blobbing through the galaxy.
Yeah, blobbing it up.
Okay. Okay. One last thing before I go. Who do you like? If there was a reference competition with the lower decks, who would win? Between Picard and lower decks, with the number of references.
Definitely lower decks. Yeah, by a landslide, because it's every scene, it's every 5 seconds. It's just all over the place.
And for the amount they have compared to the time they have in comparison to Picard, it's no contest.
All right, thanks, guys.
Hey, thanks, man.
Thanks for coming on.
Thank you.
In the chat, Gentry says liquid changelings in this show looks like living, moving, visceral fat globules. Yeah, left over from the liposuction done last night.
Yeah. It's definitely I'm wondering, because that's got me wondering, okay, is there something different about the changelings now that they look like this, or is this just a change in special effects for the time?
It's a change in special effects for the time. They don't want to do the silver liquid stuff. It would look dated and weird.
Yeah.
I think it's just a special. Well, okay, so it could be both. Special effects, right? Better, and the liquid stuff would still look weird. The mercury looking stuff would probably look weird. Like be too much like the Terminator as well. And on top of that, they can use the same. Well, they're not quite the same link. They've got an issue. They've got a genetic issue that they haven't quite totally corrected yet, and that causes their freeform shape to look like that too. So, do we have any Trekcast T-shirts for sale? Scott wants to know.
We used to. I can work on that.
We had a couple of different ways of getting those shirts. I don't know if you'd get one in time. Isn't that next month, Scott? The Comic-Con you're going to next month with Brunt and Garrick? Pretty sure it is. Combs.
We could probably figure something out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get him one.
Yeah. Okay. Our last caller is T-Bear. Let me bring him on.
T-Bear.
T-Bear.
What's up?
Hey, guys. What's up?
What's going on?
How you doing? I have a question. I guess I was never a DS9 fan back in the day. In fact,
what?
I was Team TOS back then. Back when we only had you were either Team TOS or Team TNG. and then I became Team Voyager. But
I think you need to go sit in the corner and think about what you've done.
I remember reading an article in the newspaper, and yes, that was that long ago. There was a newspaper. Saying, the problem with New Trek, or back then it was New Trek, is that one's going the wrong direction and the other one's going the wrong way. Yeah. Basically, I'm sorry, one's going the wrong way and one's not going anywhere, which basically was referring to DS9 and Voyager. And it's funny when I think about it today, it's like, well, we're kind of in that same range, but I'm still.
I've got the side-by-side up of Laas and then that hand Changeling.
I don't know how you can
look at them. They're twins.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. I gotta say, I don't see it, Dan.
That's not fair though, because the one on the left, his face was constantly in motion. He was, wiggling all around, and it's a still shot.
That's Zack Snyder's Laas.
You know what this reminds me of? You know what this reminds me of? Just a perfect example of it. Corporate wants you to explain the difference between these two.
There you go. There you go.
They're the same picture.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, they haven't been consistent because it seems like the changelings. Why I still don't understand why some look like perfected human form, yet the founders still all look like Odo. I don't know if they've ever explained that.
Didn't she do that on purpose?
Well, that's also. Yeah, I don't know. What other founders did we see? Is she the only founder we saw?
I believe so.
Kind of. Yeah, kind of. Maybe. I remember them having a conversation where she did that on purpose for him. Okay. I remember that explicitly, where she wanted to look like him.
Okay. All right.
Specifically to win him over. It was a manipulation tactic, right?
I'm trying to remember if we ever... I mean, I know there were other changelings, but I'm trying to remember if we ever saw them in their own human form, not that they were mimicking someone else. Because, if changelings are all walking around looking like some Bajoran scientists, that doesn't make sense.
Right.
But I don't know. I haven't watched Deep Space Nine. I think I'm gonna go. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna get in the car. I'm gonna head over to T-Bear's house. And, we're gonna binge 7 seasons of Deep Space Nine, and then he will be allowed back into the fold.
Okay.
See, that's what we need to do in Vegas. We need to have watch parties in Vegas where we are
watch this stuff.
How about a live show in Vegas?
Yeah, that's yeah. Definitely like to try that.
That's a great idea, Chad. What would we need to do to make that happen?
Yeah, we can try.
We have all the stuff to do it.
We can do it. We have the technology.
We have the technology. We have the abilities. It wouldn't be video, but it would be audio.
Oh, we could do video now.
Well, we could, I suppose. Yeah, we could.
Yeah, it's possible.
It would be different, though. It would be
different.
It would be a little different, but we could do it.
Yes. All right. So, what? T-Bear, I've been asking people, what do you think is up with Jack?
It's kind of like his Uncle Shinzon, when he got
his uncle
merged with the Venom symbiote. And I think that's a different multiverse, maybe. I don't know. But yeah, I think it's right. There's something that they know Beverly's not saying, and it has something to do with the changelings. I still don't get the red though. Like, there's something in him, or he got. I don't know if there's something genetic or if it's something that happened to them.
You don't think it's
yeah, maybe. I mean, it's the crossover we all want, right?
For sure.
But no, I'm thinking it's probably something genetic or something that predisposed him to it or something. Because Picard's been through so much that who knows what's happened to him in his DNA at this point. I mean, all the cloning and I think Vadic there's a relationship with him and Vadic that I don't think he or Jack understands or knows about. And Vadic
he got down with Space Cougar.
Maybe, I don't know.
That would be weird.
Yeah, well, it's Frau Farbissna is really mad about them killing off Picard's mini-me.
She's a honey bunny.
Tell that bitch be cool.
That's what he says, explaining it later. I told her to be cool, and now she's just following me everywhere.
Yeah.
Gentry says it's the Red Angel. That's what's behind the door. Well, Gentry, if it's the Red Angel, I hope they keep that door closed. Okay?
Franks did say that they've got a way to tie all the Discovery together, right? So
Franks probably has a way, and he is the way.
Yeah,
he is the way.
Awesome. Anything else you wanted to add in, T-Bear?
Nope. Till next time.
All right, man.
All right.
Thanks for coming on.
See you, man.
Go watch Deep Space Nine. Redeem yourself.
Don't come back on and talk on this show until you've watched some DS9.
There's 7 seasons, and there's 7 days until the next episode of Trekcast.
It's so easy.
You know what you have to do.
The Trekcast is a Bajor.
You know what's funny? I think there's roughly 24 episodes.
22, 23.
Per episode, per season of Deep Space Nine, and there's 7. So if he started right now and only stopped for like meals and bathroom breaks, he could
no
do
sleep,
it.
Really.
He could do it.
Yeah, he
and
could.
You know what? I have faith in him.
How much does he love us?
In our listeners.
If he loves us, he'll do it.
He's not going to do it.
Awesome,
I know.
How awesome would that be? How awesome would that be if he comes on next week? He comes on full video. He comes on full video. He's got a beard, right? His shirt's got stains on it. He's just like, I did it, fellas. I burned a week of vacation time at work.
He's 20 years older.
He's looking like that Riker where they all the Enterprises appear, and he's like the shot up.
He's aged, yeah.
You know what it's like?
Yeah.
We can't go back there. 26
Exactly.
episodes. All right. Well, you know what? He'll watch them on Bajor.
They're 45 minutes each. It collapses. It'll be fine.
Yeah, and now he finally will understand the "it's real" comment.
It's real. Is this Trek shaming? You haven't seen Deep Space Nine?
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is Trek shaming.
Yeah.
You know, our views have gone up since we've started Trek shaming. So it's all good.
Everybody piles on. Everybody piles on for that. Yeah.
All right. Jad, you had a voicemail you wanted to play for us?
We got 2 voicemails.
Okay.
I could tell one is it says it starts off I am Scott. So I know it's a legitimate voicemail. I'm gonna play that one. The other one, I'm a little concerned it might be like a bill collector. So we'll play that one too. It'll be fine. Here's the first one.
I am Scott, son of Richard, House of Bouters, husband to the glorious Desiree of the House of Diamonds, minister ordained, veteran of the American Army. I have your Pack-led review. First Star Trek Picard, Season 3, Episode 4, No Win Scenario. Pack-led's Miss Raffi. Thank you for listening to a Pack-led review.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
Pretty good.
That's great. That's a good title you got. I like that.
All right, here's the other one that I might have to. Oh no, there's no.
What?
I have no idea. I have no idea what this is going to say. Holy shit!
Roll the dice.
Hey, Dad. I just wanted to remind everyone that Worf is a hottie, even as an old dude.
Worf is a hottie, even as an old dude. That's what she said. Okay.
Okay.
Who was that?
The transcription is just totally not what she just said.
Do we know who that was?
Isn't that the lady that came on a couple weeks back saying?
Play it again.
Just
Play it again. It was
through
quick.
everything. Yeah, it's quick.
Hey, Chad. I just wanted to remind everyone that Worf is a hottie, even as an old dude.
There you go.
Worf is a hottie, even.
You
as
said,
an old
"Hey,
dude.
Chad." So
Right.
Well,
isn't she the one that
you know
came
what?
on here a few weeks back that was
I
saying
don't
she was
know,
watching
man.
through everything? I'm pretty sure that's who that is.
Yeah.
I am going to concur that Worf is a hottie.
Yeah.
He is a fine specimen of Klingon warrior, and women want him, men want to be him, and it was great seeing him. I was a little bummed we didn't see him this week, but there was so much other great stuff going on that I'm okay. It looks like we might see a little bit more of him next week, so looking forward to that.
There's a meme going around of him doing all his titles, House for Janker and all that, and then it ends with Raffi going, "And Father of Alexander," and he's just like, "Who?"
yeah. No, as they used to say back in the 2000s before it became politically incorrect, Worf is a hottie, no homo.
Okay. So
somebody said that last week. Yeah.
I know. I just find bringing it up again. Yeah.
So I got something this week. I have not even told you guys about this.
I
want to help. I want to figure out a way that we can do something special with this. I think it's pretty cool.
Okay.
Well, I'll just show you what it is. So this came in the mail. These are Star Trek Star Discs, aka Pogs. It is a box, a sealed box of Star Trek Pogs.
Oh wow!
Basically. There are how many packs in here? 36 packs of 6 Pogs in each pack. So quite a bit.
That's a lot.
Yeah, that is a lot. So what I was thinking is people online like to watch these like unboxings where people open up packs of like cards and whatever. So I thought I would do some of that, do a live stream of doing that.
Okay.
But also I want to keep a few as giveaways for stuff.
Oh yeah,
cool.
To help increase the show and promote it somehow. So we got to figure something out. If the audience wants to help come up with ideas. But I think I don't know. What do you guys think? Should we do something like that or
yeah? Give stuff away.
Gentry.
Gentry's got it right there.
Only those who have met me in person understand that.
Yes.
I must have missed it.
I'll put it up again.
Yeah, here's the 2 things that Gentry said.
So
well, he said that second.
Yeah,
he says we know
said that one first.
Chad can say no homo, but we know the truth.
Yes. Chazbiz is already excited about Pogs.
Yeah,
so that's great.
Yeah, Scott's still got ornaments to give away.
There you go.
Oh, cool.
And Daryl hasn't seen Pogs since the night. Exactly, Daryl.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's why I got them.
That was good timing between what I said and then that.
Yes. But these are original.
I don't know why.
From back in the day. Like these have never been opened. So
How'd you come upon those?
There's this thing called eBay.
This guy. He's got jokes.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be like a cool story. Like, well, I went out.
Is this not cool enough?
It was a weekend in Spokane. No,
Are
it
you not
was
entertained?
Yeah, I am entertained, but like there, there'd be a cool story. Like I went to Spokane, I came across this garage sale. There was this old guy who had all this stuff. It was a bidding war between me and this old lady. She kept telling me her story about her husband who loved Trek, and I didn't give a shit. I just wanted the Pogs, damn it.
Okay. So like a couple months ago, I taught my nephews about Pogs because I found my old Pogs, right? And they got into it and they wanted some more. And I explained to them that they really don't exist anymore.
Yeah.
And then just randomly the other day I was on the computer and I thought, well, I wonder if there was ever Star Trek ones. And then I stumbled upon this box.
There you go.
Sale at a very reasonable price. And so I got it.
Okay.
Yeah. That's the story.
Yeah.
I'm not giving away my Thomas Riker. Okay.
So it's
I'll
just
trade
a disc, right?
it
The
for
Pogs are just a
Raffi
disc.
rookie card.
Yeah. That's funny. That's funny, Gentry.
Yeah, these are just as far as I understand it, these are just the cardboard ones. These aren't the slam.
And what do you do with them? Just collect them to have them, and that's it.
I guess.
Because what do you call those things where you put them on the back of your phone and it's like a little, you use your 2 fingers to
the the pop sockets.
Pop sockets. That's what.
Yeah.
Pop sockets.
Yeah. Hot pocket.
I mean, you could glue it onto a pop socket for sure.
Yeah. That's probably how I'd use them.
Yeah, but it's
pop sockets.
just normal weather. Like you're out on the phone in the rain, you're
It'd
gonna
be
ruin
gone.
a piece of cardboard.
It's not. Oh God, Chaz, you want?
I've got a
Raffi
clear
toy?
plastic case on my phone, so I can put it in there and protect it, and it'd be fine.
What are you gonna do with that Raffi toy? You gonna practice voodoo and pin, pin the thing to cause harm in someone else? I don't know.
No. I would just leave it at the store.
Which I have seen a lot of people with the new Star Trek toys
melted.
Yeah, they're not selling well.
Okay,
They're not
Sid.
selling well.
Okay, Sid. He's gonna blow it up on a bottle rocket.
Yes. Yeah. But I was reading about the Masters of the Universe toys really aren't selling that well. Like a lot of these reboot toy lines are not doing as well as people thought.
Toys in general.
Well, here's the thing with the Masters of the Universe ones. You know, they're to the point where most of the characters that people are nostalgic for, they've released them already. So, you know, they're getting to the end of the line and they're coming up with different gimmicks and whatnot. And people like me, you're like, no, I don't care about that. I don't need that.
Yeah.
So
I don't think toys in general are that. They just don't sell as many
They don't.
in the age ranges that they used to way
They
back
don't.
in the day. And I think until they get smart about how to sell toys to kids nowadays between 5 and 12, until they get smart about it, they're never going to be as big a market as what they used to be. And what I mean smart isn't like what type of toy, what genre, what this, that, or the other. I mean the toys themselves. Like they've got to compete with a tablet and everything that can possibly be on a tablet. Every game, every interaction, all that kind of stuff. Like the toy itself has to be at a level of being able to interact with the kid it's playing with, talk back, a little bit of AI built into it, something, right? And it could do all that via Wi-Fi and via a server somewhere. So it doesn't have to actually be on the dang toy. But the glorious Desiree says hi. Tell her we said hi too. Yeah. So I miss those two. Those two are fun.
Yeah.
Yes.
So.
All right.
All right. Well, this has been Toycast.
Yeah. Indeed. Indeed.
Is that it for is that it for all of our feedback?
Yeah. This has been quite the long show.
It was a great
need
show.
To know if Daniel, if you're going to start another podcast and call it Pogcast. I know it doesn't really roll off the tongue.
No.
You know, some things like Trekcast just roll right off the tongue that anybody would want it as the name of their podcast.
Oh, Bob was looking to get banned. Nobody cared about He-Man. Whoa.
Change your name right now. These guys will kill you. I learned this a
that
long
will not
time
happen.
ago.
Yeah. No, sir.
I'm going to pretend I didn't hear that.
Yeah. I have the power.
T-Bears.
Whoa.
So real quick before we wind it up, Mandalorian. Everybody see second episode?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That was great. That was a great episode. He makes it to the waters of Mandalore. Not only does he find out it's a little bit not quite what he thought, but so does Bo-Katan.
Yeah. So it's funny because Daniel, you said last week that it seems like Din as a character might be moving away from his religion.
Yeah.
And right after that we see this episode. And I don't know, did you pick it up? Did you feel it that Bo-Katan might be moving towards?
They might be moving towards each other, yes.
Yeah, I think she's going to get more religious and he's going to get more not.
Yeah.
And they'll find a middle.
Yep.
Well, that might be what's needed to bring all the Mandalorians together again under one banner.
He's going to be their Martin Luther, and they're going to have a Protestant revival.
The new Lutheran church.
Yeah, the new Lutheran church with the Mandalore.
I did like how he has a really hard time with that sword.
Yeah. She doesn't.
Yeah,
she just slayed people left and right, no problem. Yeah, and she had no issue with that sword. She's just a different cut between the two. She's just Well, I like her character a lot.
The thing I was reading is the trick with the Darksabers, you have to be singularly focused.
Yes.
That's why you can lead.
Yes.
And he's so conflicted with everything.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah. So.
Yep.
So I think in the end, it's going to be, they're going to find the middle ground, and you could take your helmet off during the week, but sundown on Friday, you have to put the helmet on, and you can't take it off.
That's right.
You can't take it off until Sunday morning.
Yeah,
there you go.
During the Sabbath, it's got to be on.
Yep.
That's funny. I do like how Grogu is growing in his strength. Clearly, he's able to use his power multiple times and not want to fall asleep.
Yep.
So He's going to be a force to be reckoned with. I like that
for
scene
sure.
with what's her name, where he jumps out and does the somersault like Yoda did way back in the day.
Yep.
That's pretty cool.
Gentry,
Yeah,
she gave
I
us
was
Burger-
surprised. I was surprised by that. She didn't give it back to him. She just left it there with his stuff for him to pick up when he was ready. It was just kind of
because she knows.
Yeah.
She knows that she can't. It's worthless to her. It's only a weapon. Unless she wins it in battle. It's only a weapon. In order for it to be,
So she's as much
hers.
a slave of those traditions as he is.
Well, yeah, because the people that she wants to lead
Correct.
are,
That's what I'm
are
about to
slave
say.
to the traditions. So even if she doesn't believe that herself, she has to put up that facade.
She has to follow it for them.
And she even alludes to that in her story about when she was a kid with her father. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So, and she didn't believe that there was a giant beast down in the water either until she saw it.
Well, and that's one of the things.
Pavel, welcome to Mando Cast.
Yes.
Yes.
But when she sees the mythosaur, I mean, it's got to immediately
I love the
resonate
name.
through her that, well, if this is real, after all, what else is real?
Yeah.
After all. Now she's doubting everything.
Yeah.
And they can clearly live there.
Yeah.
There's no reason for them not to rebuild.
Other than you can't grow anything on that planet.
Yeah, you could. I mean, hydroponics is a thing, but yeah, everything is glass.
Because what are those? There's animals there. Those animals and there's other humanoids. They're sustaining themselves on something. So you can grow food there. Food can grow there. What's interesting is he said there's
Bo-Katan needs a visit from a candle ghost.
Yeah.
No. She needs a visit from Djinn. That's not a pizza. That's the gin. Sorry, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, so all right. So from the surface, they can't communicate. There's too much interference in the atmosphere. Okay, which I'm assuming means you also can't scan the surface from orbit.
Right.
Probably not. Yeah.
Which means it's the perfect place to amass an army without drawing attention to yourselves.
Yeah.
So I think we are going to see the Mandalorian's return to Mandalore.
Scott likes the Mando supplement.
Yeah. There you go.
Supplemental. Yeah.
Yes. Well, we'll see what happens next. I think it's going well. I enjoy it. This is the way.
And T-Bear is right. It's an awesome scene at the end where you can literally see she gives off the emotion of what she just experienced, even though she's got a mask on.
Yeah.
I mean, Katie Sackhoff is an excellent actress. She's perfect for Bo-Katan. She's absolutely perfect for it. So I just can't imagine somebody better.
Yeah.
And R5D4, he's a great actor. Also, I'm glad he's still getting work. It's been a while since we've seen him, but I'm glad that poor bastard finally got off Tatooine. He's been stuck there for 50 years.
Yeah. That's hilarious how she pawns him off on him.
Yeah.
And he takes it, and then he's like, "That's not the ask." Here, he shoves him out.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
All right, guys, it's been real.
Yep.
It's been fun, but it hasn't been real fun. So I'm gonna go.
All right. Sounds good. Thanks everybody for listening.
It's been a blast, but I mean, we're at the 1 hour and 45-minute mark. So
we've been going for a while.
An exceptionally long episode of Trekcast, but that just goes to show how much I love you guys. I love this show that we're a part of. This Star Trek family, this Trekcast family. I love it. Thank you to both of you for being here. Thank you for everyone who shows up every week and your emails and your voicemails and your Packlet reviews and your pods and all the disconcerted craziness that just makes this show what it is. I really enjoy being a part of it. So
absolutely.
I just wanted to say that.
Yeah. Isn't it crazy how you got the angel lights behind him from the flare as he was saying this?
Even Gentry, I love that guy too.
Even him. All right.
It's our church. Yes, Chesmiz. It's the Church of Trekcast.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
All right. See ya.
Yeah.
Live long and prosper. See you next week.
See you guys. See you next week. Thanks.